Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today is the start of week 2 and I finished my first day at the lab today. So I was introduced to everyone. I got to tour around all of the buildings, all of the different lab spaces that I could potentially be working in. And now I'm walking home. So my daily commute is about a 30-minute walk one way, which isn't that bad, you know, a little bit of exercise for the day. And I will be going back to the lab tomorrow morning to start getting oriented in the lab with specific procedures that I'll be using and stuff like that. So it's exciting. Now we're actually getting to do my Fulbright for the first time since all the bureaucracy is now complete. Second day of work is done today and I got to learn some stuff. And then I tried to go get a gym membership so I can work out and was told I need a Slovenian bank account to do that. So I have yet to receive my tax number, so still don't have a bank account, which is kind of sad and depressing since I can't do basically anything without it, including go to the gym regularly like I was doing back in the United States. So well, yeah, I'm going to be trying this week to get a hold of the tax office and see where my tax number is. Hi everyone, welcome back. I didn't make any videos for the rest of last week because it was pretty much the same every day. Still no tax number. Going into the lab, doing some stuff, and then leaving. So it wasn't that exciting. But today is the start of my 3rd week in Ljubljana, and still no tax number. So it's going on 2 weeks now, but that's besides the point. I'm officially learning the ropes of my lab, learning the methods that I'll be using in my research, learning how to work the machines that I'll be using and stuff like that. So it's been getting more interesting as the week goes on, since I have more things to be able to do daily, as opposed to last week where I didn't really have that much to do since I was still just kind of settling into the lab. So yeah, it rained yesterday, so the temperature plummeted from 75 degrees Fahrenheit to about 50 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. So I'm wearing my coat and I'm still sweating on my way to work. I still don't have a bike. Not sure when I'm gonna get it. It's being fixed right now because one of the back wheels was broken. So TBD on that front. And then maybe I won't sweat so much on my walk / bike to work. Yeah, didn't do anything fun this weekend since yesterday it rained, so couldn't really do anything anyways. And Saturday I kind of just needed a recovery day from the week. So yeah, if anything interesting pops up, I will make sure to make another video, and then this should be dropping at the end of this week. So and this morning I saw a rat for the first time, so that was quite the experience. I walked out of my apartment building and almost stepped right on a dead rat, and it was not as cute as Remy from Ratatouille. So that was an experience. Hopefully it's gone by the time I make it home, because it's been like 6 or 7 hours since I saw it this morning, so, but we'll see. But yeah, those are all of my updates for this section of the vlog. So if I don't have anything new, see you in the outro. Hi everyone. So I didn't vlog this last night, but I went out last night to meet up with a Fulbrighter from last year, one of the US students who's over here doing research before she heads back to the United States. And I went to the city center to meet up with her, and while I was waiting there, the craziest thing happened. So in Europe, you're always warned, like, there's a lot of pickpockets that you should be aware of, and like, don't have a bag on your back, and anything valuable should like go right in front of you. And I was standing there waiting to meet up with this other Fulbrighter, and right in front of me, this Chinese tour group goes through, and all of a sudden I hear a zipper go, like zipping up a backpack, and I look up, and there's this woman who like quickly turns around and looks at this guy who like puts his hands up like he wasn't just zipping up her backpack. So I got to see pickpocketing in live action right in front of me, which was interesting. It's the first one that I've seen, and granted it was at night, which is like probably the easiest time for pickpocketing. So, but yeah, it was interesting. That and the rat from the other day are the two most interesting things that have happened this week. So I figured I would make a little segment about it. Okay, so this is gonna be the outro. Just a couple of things that I wanted to add in that I hadn't mentioned previously in the week before I posted this week's video. So this is the end of my 3rd week here. So you all saw my 1st week here, and then this video is both for last week and this week. And so just one big thing that I wanted to touch on that I didn't really talk about in any of my previous segments of this video is my research and why I'm being so cryptic about what I'm doing in the lab. So in the United States, in undergrad, I kind of worked in an open lab environment where anybody who's a member of the lab can go in and use the lab, and we're encouraged to talk about like what we're doing with other researchers from other labs and just students in general. And so that's kind of what I thought I was going to be in while I'm over here. But my lab is an accredited lab, which means basically that the Slovenian version of the FDA has like a checklist that they follow to maintain an accreditation so that their research is just more verifiable, I guess. And part of their accreditation process was having me sign basically an NDA statement stating that I won't talk about what I am doing specifically in the lab to anybody outside of the lab, including on social media platforms, until all of the data is published. And this is mainly for intellectual property reasons. So in science, the way that you get funding and recognition for your work is by publishing. And so what tends to happen in science is that other researchers will steal people's ideas and publish them without like fully carrying out the data, just that their name is out there and attached to the idea before somebody else, because then they can get funding to do more research in the future. So I am not allowed to talk about what exactly I'm doing in the lab other than any methods that I'm going to be using that aren't invented for the research that I'm doing, if that makes sense. So what I can say is over the past 2 weeks, I've just been learning some techniques related to cell culturing, since that's one of the techniques I'll be using in the lab. So learning how to plate cells, how to transfect cells, how to image. So my lab uses FRET imaging, which is pretty popular for analyzing cells while they're alive. And you can cause them to react to drugs in real time and record it and then see what is happening to the cell during that time. So those are just some of the techniques that I'm learning. As of now, I'm not even really doing a project yet. I'm still just getting the basics of the techniques down, since in undergrad I didn't work with cells and cell culturing, so this is all completely new for me. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of explain why I'm being so cryptic, because a lot of my family members and friends back home have asked me. And I know in the previous segments of this video, I kind of just say that I'm doing things in the lab and I don't really elaborate. And so I just wanted to explain why that was. And then other than that, the only other update I have for you all is I did get in contact with the tax office after over 2 weeks of waiting for my tax number. And they said that they had tried to deliver my number on October 5th, which was 2 days after I filled out the application. But because my name wasn't on my mailbox, they returned it to the tax office and didn't tell me that they returned it to the tax office. So I am supposed to be getting it this coming week. I verified my address and that my mailbox has my name on it now with them. So hopefully they're pretty speedy with that, since I can't apply for my housing stipend or a bank account without it, and I can't go to the gym without the bank account, so we're kind of in limbo until things start to happen. So I'm hoping that Monday or Tuesday I'll get it in the mail. They might end up leaving a ticket to tell me to go to the post office to get it, because since it's a government document, they tend to not just leave it in your mailbox in case somebody would steal it, which is understandable, but still kind of an inconvenience since I'm usually at the lab during the time that mail is delivered here. So, but yeah, it'll be fine. I'm hoping that next week I can figure all that out, and open up my bank account and fill out my housing stipend application, and so that I can start to get that money coming in to pay for my rent and things like that. And then other than that, that was pretty much it for the past 2 weeks. Nothing super exciting. Tomorrow is the Ljubljana marathon. I will not be venturing out into that because all the roads get shut down for it, since it goes on from sometime in the morning. I'm not sure exactly when, but it lasts until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I will not be venturing out during that time. And yeah. The only other thing I wanted to say is that I would highly recommend, if you ever travel abroad, to enroll in the government's STEP program. The United States basically has this program that if you're traveling abroad, it will send you alerts if there's something that you need to be concerned about. So for instance, this week there was a protest about the Palestine war, and I got an alert saying, hey, there's gonna be this demonstration at 5 o'clock. The roads are gonna be much worse than usual, just be aware. And most protests in Slovenia are very peaceful, so it's not necessarily like worry about violence or anything, but just like so that you're aware that something's gonna happen, so you're not wondering why traffic is crazy. And so I would also recommend, in addition to that, signing up for some sort of newspaper. So in Slovenia, most of the newspapers are in Slovenian, but I did find the Slovenian Times, which is completely in English, and it keeps you up to date on like politics, business, cultural events, things that are happening in the city, stuff like that. So that was also useful this week, because I learned that the borders are having security checks again, which was helpful because I'll be traveling to Austria for Christmas. So there'll be probably still be border checks for them. So that was super helpful for planning like trips outside of Slovenia in the future. So yeah, that would be my only recommendations for this week. And yeah, hopefully I do something fun next week or the week after that. I'm gonna try and post every 2 to 3 weeks unless something really exciting happens, and then I'll keep you up to date. But for the most part, from going forwards, I'm just gonna be working in the labs most of the time, and since I'm not really allowed to share what I'm doing in the lab, it kind of makes for boring videos. So we'll see. I might end up doing like a POV of walking to work every day, like a day in the life of a Fulbright researcher, and also take you guys around the city center next weekend, as long as nothing's going on. So yeah, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment if you feel like it, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.